Ladies and gentlemen, good morning once again. I'd just like to had a quick common sense comment on a video that I saw running in on YouTube. This relates to an incident that occurred in Taspen. Call it a couple of hours ago. A policeman abuses a 82-year-old man. And I want to say something here. I want to start off by saying that, listen, the definition of the word criminal is one who has committed a crime and who has been successfully prosecuted for that crime. That's a criminal. So even if you're out there committing a crime and you have never been arrested and successfully charged and prosecuted, found guilty for that crime, you're not yet classified as a criminal. But the word is banded and thrown all over Jamaica. Everybody is a criminal. I want to go back to Adams, the days when Adams was out and running and was vying to become commissioner of police and all sort of stuff. Remember this from Adams. Adams said, made it clear, innocent until proven guilty is semantics. This is coming from a police within the commissioned ranks. This is the man who wants to lead the police force. This is the man who wants to become commissioner of the police force, to be in charge. Innocent until proven guilty is semantics. Doesn't make sense. Doesn't mean nothing to him. I'm saying that, ladies and gentlemen, because I want to point out clearly how this policeman was able to abuse this gentleman and feel he has the right to abuse this 82-year-old gentleman. Because the gentleman, the 82-year-old man, should not object or reject the instructions he's given him. You walk into a area, Spanish Town. You guys are looking for someone. You did not find who you're looking for. So you see this gentleman. I'm giving you a message to give Hex. Man said no. Because he refused, you think you now has the right to do that. So let us examine where he might have gotten that right from. No matter what you see police is doing on the street, let me tell you something. It is governmentally driven. Governmentally driven, it is supported by the politics of the day. Now let me go back quickly because I want to do this in as short a time as I can. Let me go to the Commissioner of Police. He made the statement that I don't train police to lose. Following on the heels of that comment from the Minister of National Security that shoot first and ask question later. Quite recently, the Prime Minister also in his budget speech highlighted how the negative impact crime has on investment, tourism, and growth and development of the economy. That is all sensible. That is all true. That makes sense. But he goes on to say that all criminals will be eliminated from society. They're not stopping until all criminals are eliminated from society. Now, ladies and gentlemen, what does the Prime Minister mean by all criminals? Because there are different types of criminals in Jamaica. There are different types. There are drug dealers, there are extortionists, and there are murderers and people who just petty thieves. And the blue-collar crime. Now, let us ask the question if you have ever seen the Prime Minister, if you've ever seen police. Let us ask the question if you have ever seen the police arresting blue-collar criminals. How often a blue-collar criminal is arrested? For the sake of how the word is bandied about, yes, I call them a criminal too. Because if you're calling the smaller man a criminal without him being prosecuted and sentenced or charged or whatever, then let me call these guys criminals too. How often do we arrest blue-collar criminals? If the Prime Minister is telling us Jamaica is so far ahead in its fight against crime that blue-collar crimes is not occurring, notice every effort they put in place. It is aimed at the smaller people. But Mr. Prime Minister, if you're going to eliminate all criminals from Jamaica, then you must start at the top. Because there are criminals at the top of the society, and you got to start there. If you want to prove people that you're serious about building a Jamaica, you want to prove to people that you're an anti-corruption Prime Minister, then clean from the top down, not from the bottoms up. It's not going to work. It's not going to work. Now, I quote what the police commissioner said and what the Minister of National Security said and what the Prime Minister said. Now put those three quotes together and tell a policeman to go out there and fight crime. What do you think he did? Does he have any regards for you? He won't have any regards for you. With those three things coming from the Commissioner of Police, the Minister of National Security, and the Prime Minister, he has no regards for you. You're no longer a citizen. You're a criminal. First, you're not a citizen of Jamaica anymore. You're a criminal. And ladies and gentlemen, this is why I say it's important for us to really come together to create a better understanding for ourselves. Because don't run with the hype of the promise from these politicians. They have been promising my grandfather, my father, me, my children, and they're gonna promise your children down the line, just the same. We have to take politics serious, and we have to be very, very serious about our own existence. These politicians is not going to do it. There's also an incident somewhere down in the country where you can see the policeman foot in the neck of the youth. What if you had crippled him? What if you had killed him? Would that be written off as an accident? A noble cause corruption? Ladies and gentlemen, we cannot, as a people in Jamaica, sit down and allow these things to continue. We have to rise up. We have to speak. We have to use the social media, raise our concern, and let the government know that we are not satisfied with the level of policing. Jamaican for Justice tried to launch a protest against police killings, the increase in police killings in Africa some months ago. What came up against a man was like Jamaican justice went into silence. So much so that the very Minister of National Security came out and commented that the Jamaican for Justice are living off blood money. While he's failing to recognize that the very police force he heads up is living off blood money. Ladies and gentlemen, let me make this clear. We are in a police state. Now, when police have carte blanche authority or autonomy to do whatever they want to do to quiet you, to silence you, to belittle you, to disrespect you, we have to rise up. We have to take the challenge to them. And I just want to issue a warning finally to the Prime Minister and the government of the day. When you create a police state and allow police to disrespect people, citizens, and treat them any way, any old way they want to treat them, Mr. Prime Minister, let me tell you this, sir. You're forcing people to find the will to fight back. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Lenny Roberts YouTube channel. Know your politics. Let's come together to create a better understanding for each other by watching what these politicians do and what they say. Lenny Robbins, like, share, subscribe, comment. Over and out.